I'd like to thank everyone for watching and commenting and sharing my videos this year. I enjoyed hearing from every one of you who reached out to me, even though sometimes I get a little behind on my emails, and so I hope you'll be patient with me. I do try to get back to everyone eventually, but sometimes it takes me a little bit of time. I feel like I meet new people every year online that I do this channel, and that is one of the things I really love about doing this. And some of you have been so sweet and encouraging to me, and I really appreciate that. I didn't get as many videos made as I had hoped. I do feel like I say that every year, but my health was a bit of an issue this summer and fall, and so that kind of took me out of the game for a little bit. And a few of you actually emailed me and reached out to me, and you're like, hey, are you still going to be making videos and stuff? And so the answer is yes. I do still have some things I want to say, and I feel like there are some pretty big topics that I'd yet like to cover, but I just need a run of overlapping good health and spare time so I can put together a decent presentation of my thoughts on those topics. Can you believe it has been 3.5 years since I started this channel? I was just thinking about that the other day. You know, starting out, I was surprised to get any views or any subscribers. I remember telling my husband, I mean, how amazing would it be if I got 100 subscribers? And, you know, I really appreciate everyone who supported me, because it just kind of kept building and rolling in. And, you know, when I started, I had no expectations. I was just really hoping to share some of the things maybe I had studied, some things that had worried me early on, and, you know, just maybe lighten the load for somebody else. And I kind of eventually wanted to share my spiritual abuse story, which I did a few years ago, and that video got a lot of views. But I just wanted to comfort other people, because I remembered how hard it was to kind of go through all that. And so I never expected it to go this far, basically, is what I meant to say. And so now when someone locally will come up to me, like around here, if I meet up with them at the store or something, and they're like, oh, I watched one of your videos, I always panic internally and think, uh-oh, you know, what did I say? And sometimes it bothers me, and I have to go home and like rewatch the video to make sure I sounded sane. You know, it's an odd thing to have yourself out there publicly. And so I do appreciate everyone who has supported me and been so kind. Responsible Faith hit 4,000 subscribers this year. And, you know, I realize that's not a lot compared to bigger channels, but, you know, it's a lot to me, and I take that responsibility very serious. I feel very blessed by that. I'd like to thank Natalie and Jasmine, Eleanor, Aurelio, and Justin and Tiffany for sharing their stories on my channel this year. So many people have found them comforting and encouraging. And I know I've said this before, but it is not easy to share your personal information and just kind of put yourself out there publicly. And you open yourself up to criticism, and we're all human. None of that's easy. You're kind of sharing probably one of the most difficult times you've ever been through. And so that's something that people really consider before they do. I know a lot of you think that, well, they're just trying to make trouble. No, you don't put yourself out there like that without really kind of counting the cost beforehand. And so I know that the ones who have shared did it to encourage others who are struggling in similar situations. And so I really appreciate their courage and their transparency. I felt overwhelmed this fall with the heaviness of all the abuse stories and the advocacy work that I do otherwise through this channel. And that happens to me every so often doing this. And I'm learning, slowly but surely, I'm learning to kind of listen to my inner warning that it's getting to be a little bit too much, and that I'm feeling overwhelmed and I need to step back and catch my breath. And so I did that a little bit this fall, because I'd like to continue doing this for a while yet. And when you feel that God has called you to support and to advocate for those who have been spiritually abused, I think you have to take breaks for your own mental health. So I just sort of try to focus on something that might be light and fun. And for those of you who are on Facebook, you might have noticed I revived my little home decor inspiration Facebook page called The Urban Farm Girl. And had a little fun with that this fall and winter. I enjoy fall and Christmas decorating, so it was kind of a bright spot for me. And I know some of you Christmas haters, you're going to come out of the woodwork now to lecture me for decorating for Christmas and my pagan Christmas tree and Santa is Satan and all this stuff. And, you know, because you do every year, I always get it when I make these Christmas greetings. Yes, I have looked into the pagan accusations against our traditional celebrations. And I will drop a few interesting videos and articles in the description section for your consideration if you want to take a look at those. And yes, some holy days converged with some festivals and celebrations from other religions, you know, especially it seems like the ones centered around seasonal changes and stuff. And if anything, the Christianization of these days and traditions is definitely the most prominent in our society now. So if anyone can be angry about this, it's probably the pagans, not the Christians. And no, Jeremiah 10 is not talking about Christmas trees. You know, if you read that in the proper context, like start at verse 1, read through to verse 13, don't just pull a verse out, you will clearly see that it is speaking of a craftsman who carves a wooden idol and overlays it with gold and silver, as was their practice, and it was mentioned throughout the Old Testament that that was what they did. And so, you know, Jeremiah 10 is not prohibiting Christmas trees any more than Zechariah 2:6 is insinuating that maybe God sends Santa out on Christmas Eve. Have you guys read that one? The basic English translation says, "Ho, ho, go in flight from the land of the north, says the Lord, for I have sent you far and wide into the four winds of the heaven, says the Lord." So context is important, always. You know, you're going to go look that verse up now, aren't you? When it comes to Christmas, it's a free country. Do what you feel is best for you and leave everyone else alone. We have Christian liberty, which is actually the subject of my next video. And I was hoping to get that posted before Christmas, but time kind of got away on me, and it looks like it won't be posted till sometime next week, hopefully. I hope your Christmas season is going well. We already kind of had our family dinner last weekend with our parents and my daughter that lives here. And so got that all taken care of and gifts are bought, wrapped. I'm ready to go. This is Christmas Eve. I'm a little late getting this video even made. And so our daughter is coming here tonight to celebrate Christmas. She works all over the holidays, so she's going to come here when she gets off work. And I hope you guys are all getting to spend time with the people that you love. And I just wanted to pop on here and wish you all a Merry Christmas and a very safe, healthy, happy New Year. And here's to inflation and the real estate market coming back down in 2023. Maybe, hopefully. Merry Christmas.